Let's make delicious, easy, homemade Rice Krispie bars. Now, this delicious treat only needs 3 ingredients, and you'll catch yourself making this at least once a week. Let's get right into it. So first, I am measuring out my Rice Krispie. Now, I am doing this because I only had a little bit left in the bag, so I wanted to make sure I knew how much Rice Krispie I had in order to properly know the amount of butter and marshmallow I need to add in to the mixture. Now, after measuring everything out, I had 3.5 cups of Rice Krispie. And now I'm going to take my marshmallows. Now these are the bigger square marshmallows. I'm just using these ones because this is what I have on hand, which is perfectly fine. I just cut them down into smaller pieces because I do recommend making Rice Krispies either with the regular marshmallow or the mini marshmallows. It's just the smaller the size they are, the easier they cook more evenly. Now I cut up 11 of these squares. But obviously I know this can be an inconvenience to others, so instead of doing this, if you have 3.5 cups of Rice Krispie, you're just going to use a half a bag of a regular size bag of marshmallows. That will equal out to about the same amount as I'm using here today. Now, if you ask me what is a regular batch, to me that is just double what this is. So basically what I'm saying, if you want to make a full batch, so basically instead of 3.5 Rice Krispie cups, you're going to need 7 cups of Rice Krispie. Instead of half a bag of marshmallows, you're going to use a full bag of regular marshmallows. And instead of half a stick of butter, you're going to use a whole stick of butter. I just wanted to add that in there just in case you were wondering or if anyone wanted to know. Also, a full batch uses a 9x13 pan. And if you haven't already, I really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss more sweet treats like this. And I would really appreciate if you share this video so it gets pushed out to other people. Because for all the new subscribers that may not know, I am currently expecting. I'm due in January, and I would love it if I could hit 1,000 subscribers before my due date. But anyways, let's get back into the video. So for this recipe, like I said, we're only going to use half a stick of butter. Now this is very, very important. You melt down your butter completely before adding the marshmallows. That's just the way you have to do it. So once it is fully melted down, like you see here, you add in all your marshmallows. Now this next step is even more crucial than making sure the butter is fully melted. Once you have your marshmallows in your pan cooking, you have to consistently stir them. You cannot walk away, you cannot go do something else and let them cook, because then you run into possibly burning your marshmallow because they melt very, very quickly. Like combining these two together and mixing them around to cook on the stove, they cook very fast. This is why you cannot leave it, and this is why you gotta consistently stir it to make sure everything melts down and nothing gets burnt. And in a couple seconds here, I'll show you what the marshmallow looks like when it's completely done and melted down. Basically, everything's just smoothed out. Now, something else you want to do is you want to have your Rice Krispies right next to your pan, so that way they're easy to access when everything is melted, because you want to pour it immediately and mix together. You don't want to wait, because at that point, when the marshmallows are completely melted down, they're very easily could be burnt if you wait too long and have it over the burner. So you really just want to get everything mixed in quickly as possible once everything is melted down. Because right here you see it's not completely melted. You can still see some marshmallow clumps, but you just keep mixing and mixing. And like I said, in a few seconds here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Or the best way I can explain it, basically your marshmallow runs right off your spatula with 0 clumps. For instance, right here, we are so close to being ready to pour in our Rice Krispie, and as you see, it is bubbling a little bit on the sides. Like I said, this is at that crucial point where you want to continue to mix to make sure nothing gets burnt and everything keeps melting smoothly. Because you obviously don't want to burn your marshmallows because that's not going to taste good. But this is what it looks like when it is completely melted. So now you want to get ready and pour in that whole bowl of Rice Krispies. Like I said, it's 3.5 cups is what we're using for this recipe today. And then right here is where I'm showing you that consistency that you're looking for. Now you pour everything in and you mix and stir as fastly and as quickly as possible. Now I didn't record me mixing the whole thing because I did have to pick it up and flip, the Rice Krispies around to make sure the marshmallow was covering everything. But after you're done mixing it for about 30 seconds or less, you want to dump it into your pan so you can start forming that Rice Krispie square shape. Now everything is very hot right now and obviously super sticky, so you just have to do your best on pushing the Rice Krispie down into the pan without it sticking to everything. And I would recommend waiting at least 10 to 15 minutes before eating. I mean, you can eat it right away if that's what you choose to do, but just beware, it's very hot. The marshmallow is extremely hot. But obviously in this clip, it's already been about 15 minutes, so I'm gonna cut myself a slice. Not only because I cannot wait to have a slice, I want to show you the consistency of this homemade Rice Krispie bar. They are 1,000 times better than buying the store-bought Rice Krispies, but that's just how it goes with homemade stuff. It tastes a lot better than in the store. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please hit subscribe.